Even though driving the AutoShift is pretty straightforward, we get a lot of questions about special conditions. So let's take them one at a time. What are the best conditions for using hold and low modes? Hold should be used whenever you want to select the shifts instead of letting AutoShift select them for you. For example, when you're moving around the yard and on some grade conditions. We recommend you use low mode anytime you want to maximize engine braking and minimize the use of the brake pedal. For example, when driving down long grades or when coming to a stop. What should I do if my service light comes on? During power-up, the service light will come on and go off. This is normal operation. But if your service light comes on and stays on, or comes on while driving, it means AutoShift has detected a fault, and you'll want to get to a service facility as soon as possible. We also recommend that you note the driving conditions when the fault occurred in order to help the repair facility diagnose the problem. For instance, was it hot or cold, wet or dry? Were you traveling on a grade or over flat terrain? You should also note any change in available gears after the fault occurred. If AutoShift detects a fault, in some cases it's possible to reset the system in order to drive to a service center. To give it a try, just shut the vehicle down for at least 2 minutes. This full power down may be enough to get you to the shop. For more detailed information on diagnosing faults, refer to your driver's instruction manual. How does AutoShift work with cruise control? AutoShift is totally compatible with cruise control. If a shift is required while cruise control is active, AutoShift will temporarily interrupt cruise while the shift is performed, and then automatically re-engage cruise when the shift is complete. Why does the engine brake occasionally come on during a shift? Depending on the conditions, AutoShift can activate the engine brake in order to bring the engine down faster for an upshift. This can happen even if the engine brake dash switch is off. What if I shut the truck off or stall while the transmission is in gear? It's very important to select neutral before shutting the truck off. If the truck is shut down or stalls in gear, AutoShift may become locked in gear. The transmission will attempt to get to neutral during the next power-up if the shifter is in neutral. If neutral is achieved, a solid N appears on the display. But if neutral can't be achieved, a dash will appear on the display and the engine won't start. If a dash appears during power-up and the lever is in neutral, here's what you do. First, turn the key off and let the transmission power down for at least 2 minutes. Then, depress the brake pedal and release the parking brake. Depress the clutch, but don't push it all the way to the floor or you'll make contact with the clutch brake. And make sure the shifter is in neutral. AutoShift will attempt to shift into neutral once you turn the key on, but you may have to slightly release the brake pedal to help let the torque off the driveline. Once it reaches neutral, a solid N will appear on your gear display and the truck will start. If a dash still appears after this procedure, get the vehicle to a service center. What if N appears on the gear display after I've selected a startup gear? As we explained earlier, you should release the clutch after the engine is started so AutoShift can register the input shaft speed. If AutoShift doesn't get a chance to do that, it doesn't know that the engine has been started and it won't go into gear. Just release the clutch pedal to let the input shaft turn and then push it back to the floor to select a starting gear. What if the gear display still shows down arrows after I've selected a starting gear and held the clutch pedal all the way to the floor for several seconds? If this happens, it means the input shaft isn't slowing down for the AutoShift to engage a starting gear. This could be due to a misadjusted clutch or clutch linkage. Get the truck to a service facility to repair the problem.
Well, we've covered some of the most frequently asked questions, but if we didn't answer your question, check your driver's manual. Again, it has detailed information on the procedures we've outlined here. As always, if you need more information or support, contact your Eaton Road Ranger Service Network at 1-800-826-HELP. Road Ranger, more time on the road.